Hello, and welcome back to Talk Tech with Toby. Today's episode is going to be geared toward either people that are looking to buy a new computer in the next 6 months, or business clients that own small to medium-sized businesses that are looking to borrow large sums of computers to replace existing inventory that's dated, or maybe the operating system's fallen out of update. You may have gone out to either Best Buy or Micro Center or even Walmart, any place that sells computers, and been looking at computers recently. And as you'll see, the traditional desktops are still there. A traditional laptop is still there. Granted, they're getting thinner. You have the iMacs, which are really nice, but they're very expensive. You have tablets. And then you have something that's relatively new to the market in the past couple years, which is the big all-in-one touchscreens. And they are very flashy. They're a little expensive. They look really nice, actually. I've seen them going anywhere from 20 inches up to 32, and they're priced better than the big touchscreen iMacs. And you may be thinking, wow, that would look really good on my desk or even my secretary's desk, out front, because it's nice and sleek and it's very thin. It's got the touchscreen capability. The specs on it look really good. It's a little pricey, but it's better than the iMac. I think I'll pick it up. Here's why you don't want to pick one up. I'm about to show you behind me here a 27-inch HP all-in-one. Thing cost one of my clients $2,400. They've had it for about a year and a half, and it blew up. And the reason why it blew up was due to overheating, just like all the other ones I see come into the shop here. They all basically, they're priced in a way that they're not quite as expensive as the iMacs, but they're also not quite as cheap as a laptop. And the reason for that is the internal guts of them are that of a full-size desktop. So you may have an i5 in there, or an i7 in this case, and it's a full-size desktop processor, which means it produces 2 to 3 times as much power as a mobile processor. And that power translates into heat. And the problem is, with these things being, this thin, there's not really a lot of space in there to properly ventilate things, so things start to overheat a little bit compared to a laptop. And while you have the power of a full-size desktop in there, all that heat's building up, and over time, damaging components, because, as we all know, the biggest enemy of a hard drive or a screen is heat. And unfortunately, most of these things come in with either A, most typically, a burned-out hard drive, or B, the screen as either darkening or rainbow colors, or usually brown in different spots around the CPU or the hard drive where things have overheated and destroyed the screen. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to cut over here to my other camera and show you on my tech bench how the system is built and why it failed. Alright, so I got to talk a little bit loud because this new camera doesn't have quite that nice of a microphone. I'm waiting for my Blue Yeti to come in so we can get a little bit better quality on the audio here. But as you can see here, this right here is 27 inches diagonally. It's a very nice looking system. Like I said, this cost my client $2,400. It's got an i7 in it, 2 terabytes of storage space. It's got an SSD in it for faster processing, 8 gigs of RAM. Not to mention, it's fully touchscreen, has Windows 8.7 Pro on it, Beats audio, very nice system. But I'm going to show you why this thing is a giant hunk of trash. Now, as you can see here, on the back panel, underneath here, this is your motherboard. On the motherboard here, you have right here, this is your central processing unit. And this right here is your heatsink cooler, which is basically nothing more than a glorified copper pipe that goes into your heatsink here and goes to a small fan that moves, okay? This is an i7. That's a top-notch processor pushing out top-notch heat and going through a laptop-style cooling system. That right there is one of the reasons why this failed. The other reason why this thing failed is we're directly under this, which is a giant hunk of metal with absolutely no ventilation whatsoever, is your hard drive. It's got a 2 terabyte hard drive in it that's been overheating for a year and a half, and when it finally blew, it overheated and heated up the entire back of the screen here. When that thing went, it overheated all the electronics in the hard drive as well, and the motor spun up too fast, overheating as well, which overheated your power supply unit. So this entire unit, all up in here, this front screen is all heat damaged. It's basically trash. I can't use almost anything out of this because it's all been destroyed by heat. So if you're thinking about buying one of these all-in-one systems for your home or business, think again. I've seen more than my fair share of these things get thrown in the dumpster. What I would do if I were you is either get a traditional, well-built, custom-built desktop system, maybe even a cheap refurb if you want to go on the cheap, which is still going to be a better bet than one of these things. Or if you want something that's a little bit more mobile, I would suggest either a Microsoft Surface Pro, which is what I use. They're very nice tablets. Or a traditional laptop that you can go out and get for $500-$600 at Walmart, Best Buy, or Micro Center. Get something like an Asus or maybe an HP that will last you for quite a number of years, and they're built well. Unfortunately, a lot of companies are pushing out these all-in-one systems, Dell and HP mainly. It's really just subpar. It's sad, really. So don't waste your money on one of these like some of my other clients have and some other people that I know. Make the smart choice and get something that's built well.